Today we're going to talk about how I overcame my stutter and I got myself to a good place of fluency and confidence and just self-esteem and life where I'm just loving everything and everybody that comes my way. In this video, I'm going to share my story, but also I'm going to share 3 realizations with you. And I'm going to share something funny, right? And something really silly. First of all, I've tried to make this video like 5 times. And the majority of the videos that I've been making are way too long because they're like clocking over 5 minutes. And I'm like, geez, no one's going to watch 20 minutes of my life or my story, and I really need to get to the point. So this is a much shorter version of what I did to overcome my stuttering and some of the things that will help you out as well. So first things first, right? I do have to, and I must point out that first point out is speech therapy, right? I support speech therapy. I went to speech therapy, and I went to it until I was 21 years old. And it was in 4 different phases of my life. So not 4 sessions, 4 different phases of my life. And speech therapy is great because it helps you with managing your mindset, your emotions, your breathing, and it also teaches you speech techniques, right? But one thing I learned when I look back, there's a whole bunch of other work that that you have to do on yourself, which wasn't included in most of the speech or all of the speech in a therapy I went to, right? But it does help. Now, I know a lot of people that went to speech therapy, it did make a difference for them. And that's something I'm very supportive, and I'm very happy it made a difference for them. For me, it didn't get me to a level of fluency, and I had many relapses in my life where my stuttering got worse, then it got better, then it got even worse as well. So, yeah. So that's the first thing. Now, my journey, right, is a little bit crazy and adventurous if I really had to share all the stories that I that happened to me on the way to improving my fluency, right? So we'll start with the first big one. So I had to give up a good salary to get myself to a good fluency level. And what that means is I completed a bachelor degree in engineering, which took me 5 years and thousands of dollars to complete that degree. And and then towards probably the last 2 years, I was not happy with my speech and my stutter and just my general well-being in life. And I made a very big decision that after I complete that degree, I'm going to work on my stutter. So then I changed my career to work in customer service and sales, and basically worked in customer service and sales for up to 6 years, right? And along that phase of my life, the goal was to improve my fluency. And I did a few things, right? So what I really did was exposure therapy, and what this means is I just kept talking to a lot of people. I kept talking, and of course I didn't just talk like blindly without a plan. I had strategies where every week I'm going to try these things out. Every week, every month, these are my goals, right? So I had a whole strategy. And I was reading a lot of personal development, spirituality books, doing a lot of meditation during that period. But at the same time, I was doing a lot of things that weren't helpful to my journey as well, like partying and sometimes doing things that are not supportive of my journey of becoming more fluent as well. So I was doing a lot of things, experimenting on myself, but not like I kind of sound like a guinea pig, um, which does fit the definition of scientist. Um, but that's what I did. When I wasn't working, I was approaching people on the street publicly, trying to have a conversation, right? I was doing a lot of exposure therapy, but there was a lot of strategies behind it, and I was reading a lot in whatever I could get my hands on, just reading a lot to get myself to understand what is happening with myself, my brain, my heart when it comes to speaking. And then over those 6 years, I started to form patterns and see when I wasn't, when I was stuttering very badly, and then I started to see patterns when I was being more fluent. And then I started to explore these patterns, and then I started to further explore it, further try out different ideas on myself. Then I formed strategies to help move those ideas to truths as well. Because so the thing about learning about belief systems and thought patterns is it all starts with ideas, and you have to be in a place where you can kind of start to see the truth of what's happening. And then once you start seeing these ideas or start seeing these moments of fluency, then you have to be able to move those ideas to truths, to belief systems. And once they form belief systems, then your behaviors start becoming more automatic and more natural. And then what happens is you improve your fluency, then you become more and more fluent as well. So there's a lot to it that I have to share, right? And it will take many conversations and workshops for me to share these things. Now, 3 things I do want to share. Okay, 3, I guess, my truths that I'm sharing with you. And hopefully, if you can find a way to turn these ideas into truths for you, it will help you improve your stutter strongly. So the first realization I want to share with you is that no one cares about your stutter. No one cares how bad you stutter. All they care about is your authenticity, right? That's all people care about. As long as you're authentic, they want to connect with you. Now, what does it mean to be authentic? It's not just speaking authentically, it's living authentically, it's authentic actions, and so much more. Now, I do want to say that being authentic is not, it's not saying what your opinion is. That's very little part of it. Being authentic is so much more. And when you can express yourself authentically, then and when you live from an authentic place, then I found my fluency greatly improves, and I'm freely expressing myself. So that's the first truth. And if you can find yourself strategies and processes to help you realize that truth, great. The second realization I want to share is embrace your stutter and form a healthy relationship with all parts of you, including your stutter. You have to have a healthy relationship with all parts of yourself. Your whole being needs to be coherent, right? Including your stutter. Now, there are processes and strategies out there that can get you to a place where you're more accepting. This is not a logical thing where you can think yourself there. You do have to feel your way there. You have to get yourself there on all levels of your being where you accept your stutter, and it's not just your stutter, you accept all parts of you. That's a second realization. The third realization is you want to continually move to a place of openness and vulnerability, right? Continually move to a place of openness and vulnerability. This is important. Now, this is a deep philosophy, but it basically means you're always open and always vulnerable. There's some great work by Brene Brown that's worth reading, that will help you understand what I mean by the third realization. Now, my experience is whenever I was open about my stutter to myself, I wasn't hiding my stutter, I wasn't trying to perfect my stutter or my speech in any level, then I would be more at peace, more at ease with it, right? But also externally as well. Whenever I met people, went into job interviews where I risk losing the job, and I would tell the person interviewing me, hey, I stutter, and I just want you to know that sometimes I'll pause, sometimes I'll take a breather. It doesn't mean I don't know your question or the job. It just means I have a stutter and I have to take my time sometimes when I speak. And the more I did this, the more free I became of the hold that stutter had on me. Now, again, there are many processes and strategies to help you live this philosophy, right? Now, all these things that I've shared with you, these three strategies, a lot of them, they're going to start off as this idea, this thought, but eventually they should move to a place of paradigm shifts. They'll move your emotions as well. And then they'll just become automatic where they will guide your behaviors. So I know there was a lot of layers of information in this video and what I had to do to overcome my stutter. And it's not like a 1, 2, 3 process. It is a holistic process. When I look back, do I regret the decision I had to make from engineering to work in career to work in customer service and sales? No, I don't regret it at all. I think it's the best decision I made. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the journey does require work, right? When I look back, if I have to say, did it have to take that many years, like 6 to 8 years, to learn all this, to improve my stutter? I would say no. It didn't have to take that long. It took that long because I didn't have a coach. I didn't have a guide to help me process what was happening, right? So you can go through this yourself. You can try to experiment and go through and improve your fluency. Or you can get yourself a guide or a coach, and they will cut the distance to improve your fluency so much more, and they can make it so much more quicker, smoother, and much more fun as well. So if you would like to have a chat about your stutter and how I can help you, then send me a direct message on my Instagram. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this video. I do appreciate the time that you put in, and I'll talk to you guys later.